Spooky season is upon us.
Yep, I'm so excited.
This is like Jen's time to thrive.
My favorite.
Yeah, this is the era of time where I spend a lot of time in my room, and you spend a lot of time just fucking mainlining just scary movies.
All the Halloween movies. Like
24/7.
It helps or doesn't help, I guess, like that we have actual cable and on like several networks they stream nonstop Halloween movies, just 24/7.
Yeah.
So I can just like flip through and like find one like on and running, and it's great.
I mean, you're not the only person that does that. My friend the other day, I was like asking him because he was like pissed that he missed Candyland or Candyman.
Yes,
Candyland is not.
It's not
very different.
Yeah,
Candyland's more my speed. Candyman more her speed. But yeah, he was telling me that he was bummed that he missed it. And I was like, it'll be back, don't worry. But I'm like, oh, are you like Jen? Do you watch scary movies like 24/7 all the month of October? And he was like, no, I'm like more specific, and then proceeded to list like 7 different subgenres of horror movies that are the ones that he likes. And I'm like, whoa, it's like a whole, you guys are on a different level than I am. I'm like, any scary movie is a scary movie. That's the genre.
Right.
I know that there's like gore porn versus psychological versus paranormal. Like, I get that there are.
Yes.
Or like creature features.
Right.
I get that there's different ones, but he was going into like deep like deep cut subcategories.
I don't know like deep cut subcategories. My whole thing is like I don't like too much gore.
Yeah, you're not a gore porn
I'm not a gore.
Which I'm into because sometimes I will watch them with you, and I'm very anti-gore porn.
Yeah, that's like not my thing at all. So, but it's also it's kind of great watch it, that we have cable because they're all edited for television. So already, like I can now watch some of the ones that I wouldn't watch before because they cut out a lot of the gross stuff.
Yeah, they make them slightly more Layla friendly because I will occasionally watch some of them with you.
Yeah,
but it's just like
and I always give you a heads up of like, wait, this one's worth watching. This one's good. Or like, don't. This one's terrible. Watch how funny it is.
Right. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of like, especially the older ones that are like the classics or whatever, are just seem like so campy now.
Oh, they're so campy. I mean, I think a lot of them were leaning into the camp like already. Yeah. But I love a good horror movie.
Yeah, this is your time of year.
Which is funny because I am very anti-gore. Like there was a period of time where like any blood in movie and I was like I can't handle it.
Really?
When I was little.
Oh, okay.
Not like little, but like of age watching, I didn't want to watch like bloody, gross.
Yeah, I didn't think that your parents like had you in a basement somewhere just like mainlining horror movies at the age of like 6.
No, although I do think I saw my first R-rated movie at like 8. So movies, I mean, I grew up in a movie household, so like there was no sort of like. It was always make-believe and always pretend. So, like, obviously there were movies I wasn't allowed to, like, see at certain ages, but there was no sort of, like, oh, you can't watch this sort of mentality.
I feel like, I mean, my grandma would always have whatever movie was on TV on, and so, like, I saw Jaws for the first time when I was, like, I think I was, like, still playpen age, and I sincerely believe that it has contributed to my fear of the ocean and sharks, because that's not my jam, man. Yeah. That's not what I do.
That's such a good scary movie. That starts out, like, my summer. Like, that's, like, my summer scary movie, and then we like move into fall and then we go to the more traditional classic Halloween film.
Also, do you want to tell them or should I?
What?
I guess it'll be me because you don't know what I'm talking about. No. Friday the 13th happens to be in October this month. I know. Which is just like
an extra little spooky.
A conjunction of all of your spooky, eerie, witch-tastic things coming together. But yeah, so I did some research on Friday the 13th.
Right, yes.
Because I was like, where the fuck did this come from? Like, why is 13 an unlucky number? Why is Friday an unlucky day? Friday's an amazing day. Friday's the day that the weekend starts.
Yeah. Like why? Yeah, why Friday the 13th?
Unless you're in college and then the weekend starts Thursday. But
yes. But so why Friday the 13th?
13 is actually like started becoming an unlucky number from Norse mythology.
Oh, okay.
So there was like a big dinner with 12 of the gods. Loki was not on the invite list. So he showed up.
Okay.
Did some mayhem. Someone killed someone else. So the 13th god that showed up, Loki, bad luck.
Oh, okay. I was expecting it to be like how Christians steal everything from pagans. I was expecting it to be some like pagan thing that they were like taking on as their own and changing the meaning of, like they did with every other holiday.
The Norse like stories very similar to the Last Supper story,
right?
So
I mean, yeah, there's only like all those stories, like
so
the flood is Gilgamesh,
because everything goes back to the Greeks. Also, like I'm Greek, so
right.
The Greeks and actually randomly Hispanic people, which I'm also Hispanic, so
like the other half.
The other half. So Tuesday the 13th, not Friday.
Oh,
Tuesday.
Okay.
There was no explanation as to why that's true for Hispanic people, but there was one for Greeks. And so Tuesday is the day of the week in Greek mythology associated with Ares.
Okay.
Ares is the god of war.
Right.
War is bad.
There is the Friday the 13th effect. Like, businesses are affected.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's an actual, like, loss in the economy on Friday the 13th.
It was something crazy, like
80 or 90 million.
It was 800 or 900
Jesus,
million.
There's an extra zero.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like, I can't... Mind-blowing.
Yeah. But I get it, because it's you associate with it, and then you see every bad thing, and you just like notice it because you're attuned to that.
It's like confirmation bias.
Yeah, it's like when you play Slug Bug and you see every single bug.
Right. Or like you were playing and you couldn't find a single one, and then the next time you're in a car, you're like, damn it, they're all everywhere. Yeah. What was I doing?
It's like when you notice palm trees in Southern California, you're like, oh my God, they're everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, that confirmation bias is totally true. And I did read that, like, I mean, in, like, Denmark or something, they've shown that, like, it's actually safer to drive on Friday the 13th. And there's, like, less theft and, like, arson and shit because, like, people are just so much more careful. I have a question.
Okay, I do too.
Okay, would you ever get a Friday the 13th tattoo?
The short answer is yes.
Okay.
The longer answer is I've looked at a lot of Friday the 13th Flash and never found anything that I would actually get.
Okay, that you would like.
So if magically one day I saw some Flash that it was like, oh, that's cool, I would totally get that, then yes, I would do it.
Okay.
But yeah, I've just never... Usually the flat, like, as spooky as I am, like, I don't really want, like, something, like
a little bat with 13 tattooed on your forehead?
Yeah, that's not exactly what I'm going for.
Yeah, I feel like, I feel, because I've worked for companies that do, like, Flash events and stuff, and, like, I just always kind of feel like, I don't know if I have tattoos, but, like, I don't know if I want, like, a Flash design that everybody has. I feel like the Flash stuff is cool if it's, like, a design you like when you have a lot of tattoos. And you're like, oh, there's a spot, let's stick it there, you know?
I don't expect to ever find Flash that I actually like.
Yeah, it's just not, like, your vibe.
Yeah, because, I kind of agree. Like, it would have to be something that, like, I'd already been thinking about, or, like, I wouldn't just be like, oh, that's cute, let me have that. It would have to be something that I was like, oh my God, I was kind of actually thinking about getting whatever.
Yeah.
They have a Flash of it, that's cute. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
I don't see that's like a magical scenario that I don't actually see happening.
You would, you don't think you will.
Yes, exactly.
Got it.
Are you a superstitious Friday the 13th person, or?
No, man, bring it the fuck on. I don't think it's bad luck. Also, 13 is my mom's lucky number.
13 was my Nana's lucky number, so I've always loved the number 13. So I've always thought 13 was like a lucky.
Yeah, I don't think it's an unlucky number. So basically, it started because my mom was a lawyer, and so when she took the bar, which is like notoriously like just soul crushing.
Yeah.
They give you like a super super long number, but then like there's a way like that all the people like add like do it so that you in your head you have a different number. It's like 1 through 20 or whatever.
Right.
She was in line with her friend, and her friend to go in, and her friend was like, oh, my number, like, da-da-da, 7. 7's supposed to be lucky. And then she's like, what's your number? And it was 13 when you did all that crazy shit to it. And she was like, well, maybe that's lucky for you.
Yeah.
And my mom, which is such a fucking dick move, by the way.
Yeah.
But right before you're about to go into this test that, like, notoriously chews people up and spits them out.
Just be like, 13's a really lucky number for a lot of people.
Yeah.
For you.
But my mom passed.
Ominous.
Yeah, right. My mom passed on her first try.
Nice.
So 13 has just always been her lucky number. So no, I don't think I've ever had like a Friday, like the heebie-jeebies about the Friday the 13th because, and like we had a black cat growing up. Like, so we were pretty witchy too. I always thought I would marry the 13th guy I slept with. And then I slept with the number 13 and it was like, nope. Not you. Not today, Satan. Not today.
That's really funny.
But just a little bit more about me you didn't need to know. What's your lucky number?
Well, 13 is genuinely
Okay.
one of them. 3.
Okay.
And then 28 because my birthday.
Because I feel like, 3 is also like a number that people fucking hate.
Well, 3 is like
Everything, bad things come in 3s.
that, but it's also a very like religious number because of the Trinity.
Yeah.
So like in pretty much every religion, like 3 is a really holy number.
Great Catholic over here.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's evil. Oh, the Trinity. My bad.
I was like, I'm the one that was raised with 0 religion. I'm like,
I'm the one that's like a confirmed Catholic who like not only went to Mass every Sunday and sang in the choir, but also had Bible study once a week growing up. So yeah, though this is funny, the church that I've been to in Williamsburg, my friend told me that they also host like in their like basement or whatever amateur wrestling nights, and I was like, yes, I knew I liked that place.
God, I want to go to amateur wrestling night.
In the base, are there donuts too?
Yeah, that sounds like something I need to experience. Like we need to find out when that is.
Yeah,
I'm not a wrestling fan really at all. Again,
Yeah.
it goes back to my like didn't like violence or anything bloody. Like so wrestling was definitely
not your jam.
Okay with me. But now I'm like, that sounds hilarious.
Yeah.
You know, like the like talk about campy. That would be another reason why it would be really fun to go to amateur night because I feel like the fans would be absolutely amazing.
So my lucky number has always been 5. I mean, one of the reasons, like I decided one day, as I usually do, in like a moment of death spiral over achiever girl anxiety panic, that I needed a favorite number.
Oh, okay. How old were you?
Probably like 11 or 12.
Okay.
And I'd always kind of liked 5. And then I realized that the horse that I was currently like riding and obsessed with in my lessons, the bridle tag had a number 5 on it. And so that sort of sealed the deal.
That was it.
But I remember like 5 was rattling around in there.
Right.
Before that, that was just kind of the nail in the coffin, as it were. I can't think of the right turn of phrase for that. If you've ever watched a horse get shot, it's a pretty violent process. Because their hooves are basically nails. So they like file them down and cut them and everything. But
that is like a whole TikTok subgenre. People are obsessed with watching
horses get shot.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was called, but get their new hooves put on.
Yeah.
At first I thought you said horses get shot.
Oh no, shot.
Because you literally said horses getting shot is really violent, and I went,
oh no. You're like, no shit.
I'm like, yeah, where is this fucking going?
No. Getting shoes put on.
Okay.
It is just because it's like cutting your fingernails. But if you were like walking on your fingernails, well, it would seem like a very violent process. What we do to like trim our nails.
Yeah.
Because basically they're walking on their fingernails.
Right.
They just grow differently. But yeah, so they can't feel it.
And they're like 2 inches thick.
They're really thick, and they only cut. It's like your fingernail, like they only cut like the edges off.
Yeah.
Like,
oh no, I'm not kidding when I said there's a whole subgenre.
have you gone
I've
down?
Seen
okay,
these videos.
you've gone down this rabbit hole.
specific, like, it's when they, like, dig out the center. That's, like, a very satisfying moment.
Oh, yeah. So that V's called the frog.
Oh.
I don't know why. But that's, that's the most sensitive part.
Oh, okay.
So you gotta and, like, that's also the deepest part. So you gotta get all the gunk out. It's like if you've got, like, a splinter under your nail.
Right, yeah. Yeah, and that's a big-ass animal. You're gonna lose in that scenario.
Oh, yeah. I've been kicked by a horse. I'm surprised it didn't break my leg, but it was not fun.
Yeah.
I've broken, like, every friggin' toe, lost every toenail because the horse is stomped down. It is, and then they put these, like, stainless steel metal shoes on them just to, like, add insult to injury. But yeah, I've had some, like, really funky bruises on my feet from horseshoes.
Ooh. Just ouch.
Yeah. When I got kicked in the shin, though, I really thought I, like, went down.
Yeah. Well, and your shin, too,
I didn't think I was
sensitive.
I didn't think I was coming back up, but
Yeah.
it was okay. I just had a giant fucking goose egg on the front.
Ouch.